a round of applause. There's the recording. So tomorrow the class will end at 10 p.m. That is the cutoff. That's when the class will close. Today, I will be going through, I will be putting zeros in any opened items except for the actual final exam. I won't be putting in zeros on that. All other assignments, just so you know, the zeros will be going in for those. So that does not mean things that are um, overdue, past due, you're losing points. The reason why I put those in is some people need a little bit of a wake-up call as to where their current grades are and what they need to do. So that's why those are going in there, because again, you do need a 65% or higher to pass the class. If not, you don't pass the class. Even if this is your last class, you will not be able to get your certification, your degree, etc., until you successfully pass the class. Okay.
Mr.
Uh,
Hallie,
yes,
where is everybody?
I don't know. Some of them are coming on. I
Okay.
don't have trackers on them.
I didn't know if for some reason this was like a optional day or something.
Nope, nope,
Okay.
nope, nope. It's a regular day, regular responsibilities. Some people think on the last week that they can skip out, and that's up to them. But anyway, getting back to it, 65% or more. If you come in at a 63%, you get to do the class again. Okay, we don't play with that. You have a responsibility, and if you don't meet the responsibility, you come back. Okay, simple as that. You do not get your you do not get your actual degree. You come back. Okay, uh, simple as that. So, uh, mention that people have responsibilities, just like a job. You do not get to make your own rules, do what you want just because you want. Even if you own your own business, people go, I want to be my own boss. If you own your own business, you have hundreds of bosses. They're called your clients. You don't make your clients happy, you don't have a business. Okay, so these are the things, that's why those are in there, so you can see exactly where you are. That's why I put those temporary zeros going throughout, so that you know where you are, so you know where you stand at all times. All right, so it only applies to a few people who just uh, don't have that motivation, so hopefully this will motivate you. Typically in this class, we have a 98% success rate. Uh, this is your career. This is your life going forward. We want everybody to be a success, but you do have requirements for a degree to get out there. So, and we talk about reputations. That's a school's reputation that you're putting on the line if you don't meet those. So you do have to meet those. And the school has requirements per the state and governing bodies that says every student must meet these requirements. So state of Florida says we must do these. All right. Okay. So there we go there. So tomorrow's class will be a short class. Okay, so those that come in late, you could very well miss the live session and that attendance assignment. So please be on time tomorrow. It will start promptly. It is a very short class. We're going to be going over just if people have questions about the final exam itself, then I'll be presenting the daily attendance assignment. We do have to hold a live session or a recorded session on the last day. That is a requirement. Every day that we meet for the school, we do have to have one or the other. So we will meet, we will have that, and it will be presented. So it'll be very quick, depending on if there are questions on that. Uh, Now, another thing coming up, anybody who has a next section next month, if you have a session next month, uh, That will start on Monday. You will have a class on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday, you are off for Thanksgiving. Some people will try to take off that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, make it a long week. If you take that off, the way attendance rolls, by time you come back, you could be dropped from your program because of the way attendance falls. So please, they are urging students. They've sent the bulletins out. Please do not try to do that. All right. So we got all the housekeeping out of the way. We have an interesting subject that actually hit home with a friend of mine today, and we are going to be talking about that. And so here we go. We are going to start with a screen share. And by the way, those of you who've done your final projects are coming in very, very strong. Some of the strongest I've seen in the last couple of months. I think everybody was kind of getting a little overwhelmed by a lot of things going on out there. So it's nice to see people are snapping back, getting back into things. So that's definitely a good sign. Um, Things are going kind of crazy. It's end of the year. What you're going to be seeing is you're going to see a lot of companies cutting back for the end of the year. They're going to be using excuses like we need to make our fourth quarter strong. This and that. Economy is strong. Okay, don't confuse economy with what we can afford ourselves at the grocery store, etc. Economy, when they say it is strong, that means for the businesses. Businesses are making big profits out there. But that doesn't mean that us as consumers, we can buy what we need to do. So that means there are two different things. So when you go in and you see people being let go because they're trying to build a strong fourth quarter, what they're doing is they are maximizing profits. It doesn't mean that us as workers, etc., are doing anything wrong, etc. They're trying to maximize their profits and getting pretty much more work with less expense. So never take this as a sign that as a worker, you are doing anything incorrect. This is just a business tactic to maximize their profits and get more work. Okay, so everybody understands that when you see these things happen at work, it is nothing that the employees are doing. It is strictly a money making thing by the businesses. So understand that when you see these things happening, it is typically done in the fourth quarter by larger companies, and it is because they want more money. Now, they say they have to show a strong fourth quarter. It's just like cramming for a test. You cannot make up a year's worth of income in a fourth quarter. They're just maximizing. So never take those type of situations as you've done something wrong. Don't own that. That is not yours. That's not your guilt. That's nothing you have done. So some people feel bad when they see these things happen. No, you never want it to happen to you, but it is not you. Okay. So never feel personally like you have done something. This is never you. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to feel like you have done something to have ever caused these type of situations. So try to think the positive way through that. You have your resume, you have plans of action, and you move forward. That's where those skills, etc. The person with the most skills is the one that is retained. The person is who's gets along in the team is the one who is retained. Those are the things. Those are the ways you make your career stronger. Everybody's heard the term the weakest link. We've all heard this phrase, the weakest link in the chain. You never want to be the weakest link, okay? Companies don't always get rid of the last person in. They're going to get rid of the one that is the weakest link. And that's going to go by skills. That's going to go with your interpersonal skills as well. Your ability to work into a team and your ability to maximize their profits. What do you bring to them so that they can maximize? Okay? Remember, they're not your friend. It's a business situation. The more you bring to them, the more they're going to bring to you. All right. So let's see what we got here going into week 4. We are all the way down here into Wednesday. You got that information coming back from the people that you've interviewed. I've had a few people that just define a manager. Okay, this is somebody you've interviewed. Number one, list who you interviewed. I've had several people put in here, blah, 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 blah. They don't tell me who they interviewed. Okay, come on, people. Follow instructions, follow directions. You will lose jobs by not following directions and instructions. I can't sugarcoat this because I'm doing you a disservice. You're going to get out there and you're wondering why you're going to lose jobs. Follow directions and instructions. Okay. If you own your own business and they tell you this is what they want and you give them what you want to do, you're going to be slammed. You're going to have bad reviews. People are going to stop coming to you. So pay attention to the instructions, not just what they tell you verbally, but what's on paper, because the paper is the legal document. Okay. Follow the instructions. Read the whole thing, not read three words out of the sentence and guess the rest. That reading comprehension will go up. Now, some people have difficulties understanding what they read. Practice, okay? Practice makes things better. So the more you read to understand, the better, okay? So work on that skill. That's how we improve. So don't think that this is a bam, this is a way to improve. Read those instructions, and if you don't get, read it again. Don't just shake your head and go, I don't get it. Okay? Don't give up. Giving up is when you fail. Trying is never failure. Okay? Honest efforts there. Your final project. Okay? This is a big thing here. Put your effort into that. Again, you can actually write this template out on paper, take a picture. I will take that. Put in your long-term goals. You've already done those back in week 1. Put your skills down in here, new skills you will need, short-term goals here. This is where you are headed in life. If you say, well, I don't plan ahead, that's exactly where you're going to go. That's exactly where you're headed. You should plan. You should have dreams. You're an incredible person with a future ahead of you. Okay? People who tell me they don't plan ahead, it's because they haven't really had a reason to. I'm telling you, you do have a reason. You are that professional. If you're going into anything just for money, you will never be happy wherever you go. They say money can't buy happiness, and it is true. It can get you objects, and those objects will not make you happy because there will be a hole in you that you will never be able to fill. People won't stay around you, and that's what you really need. Even loners like to be alone with people. You find your own tribe of people, you find your own group. So look for those other things that I've had you put down in multiple ways that companies will offer you. I even asked you to do that last night. What is it about this company that you would like from them? What is it they have? Why do you want to work for them? Number one answer, you want a balance. How many people want a balance in their life? You don't just want to work yourself to death, but you want to have a home life too. How many people want this?
Yes.
A couple of people. I guess the others just want to work to death. Nope, there goes a couple more. What about you, Matthew?
What was that?
Um, what kind of balance do you want? Do you want a work-life balance, or are you looking to just work, 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 work?
Um, I would like a schedule where I'm working like 3 to 4 days, like it could be 12 hours, and then for the next couple of days I'd take off.
Okay,
So I don't
I'm
mind
glad
those
you
long days.
I'm glad you mentioned that because what Matthew just mentioned, this is a trend. 4-day work weeks. This is a trend. The good point, Matthew. This is an extremely good trend that's going on. 4-day work weeks. Businesses are loving this 4-day work week. One of the reasons why people do not call out as much on 4-day work weeks, because with a 4-day work week, you can go to a doctor. You can get your oil change. You can go do your grocery shopping. You can do that because you typically have a weekend day, at least one, and at least a weekday week. So I really appreciate that answer, Matthew. I know it caught you off guard there, but that was
Thank you.
an incredible answer. When you're looking at your, when you're weighing what you want out of a company, think about those. Well, this one gives me more time off. Okay, but what do you do if you or somebody in your family is sick and you got to go to a doctor? Now, one of those days that they gave you, you have to take off and you lose pay. So learn how to weigh those out. Think about what you really want. So although those annoying little questions I asked you, it's like, oh God, here comes another one. Trust me, I've been a student. I know these things bother you. They irritate you. You don't want to do. Am I right? You didn't want to do these things? Be honest. You didn't want to do these. They're annoying. They seem like busy work. There's a method to it because I want you to think about these things because that's how you're going to have to evaluate, do I really want this job or not? Is it really good? It sounds good on paper, you know? Okay. Anybody ever heard of a Dodge Stealth or a Mitsubishi 3000 GT? When those cars came out, super fast, they were
Yes.
fun. Yeah, I had one. I had the one with the four-wheel steering and everything, and it was a complete road vacuum. I love fast cars, okay? So I still have my 75 Camaro. I've got a Dodge Viper. Honest to God, we've got an original 240Z. We've got some fast cars at our house, okay? So I got this thing, loved it. Nice fast on the straightaway. Couldn't go over speed bumps. Cornering's horrible. Repairs horrible. But on the surface it looked good. Had I done a little bit of research, I would have found out at 30,000 miles the transmission fell out. Yeah, big lemon. Same thing with the job. When you're looking at these jobs, evaluate them thoroughly. Go past the flashy in front of you, evaluate. So I want you to look back at the things we went over and think about why I asked you the stuff that I did. Because I've made mistakes and I don't want you to do the same. So there was more to these assignments, and I said you would learn about you. Plan, think, then move forward. Okay? So here we go. So this topic today, um, I shouldn't chuckle, but it comes at a really good time and at the expense of a friend of mine who sent me something this morning, and I'm going to share it with you. And today's topic is protect your identity. So he sends me a message this morning. Two of his credit cards got hacked last night, or they attempted to hack them, and over $4,000 worth of charges were attempted to be put on them. So we're going to talk about protecting your identity, and you're probably thinking, well, what's that got to do with my career? Because identity theft, we've all heard about it. We're going to talk about that and employment scams. You can be scammed, okay, and risk malware, etc. So some of this you're going to know about. So what is identity theft? We hear about it all the time. It's illegal and it's still someone's personal information to commit theft or fraud. So it's very specific. They're going to commit theft or fraud. Even something as simple as Facebook. Uh, it's fraud. They're impersonating you. And it is illegal and they can be prosecuted. It's not fun and games. Okay. So we have to be careful because you're putting yourself out there on the internet when you are searching for a job and you're putting personal information out there. Never include social security number. If they're asking for that, stop right there. Do not send your social security number, okay? Do not put it on your documents. If they are asking for it, you go to the FTC, that website, the FTC, and if you think that you have been scammed, okay? So you're going to go to unfamiliar websites and you need to be able to recognize them, okay? So some of the things you're going to be looking for, misspellings, okay? So that's some of the things. The URL is not part of their email address. If you get email addresses and where it says it's from doesn't match the website of the company they're saying that email is from, okay? If they have something in there for you to click on, instead of clicking on it, go to the actual website, okay? So look for that. The other thing is check to see if the company has an actual address. Google them. Do they have an address? Something that's very, very common right now over in Orlando and a little bit less in the Tampa area is people go to work, they work for 2 weeks, they go to get their paycheck. There's no paycheck. The company is fake. Okay. You've worked for 2 weeks, no money. And now you have to get another job. This hurts. This has happened to actual students I have had in these classes. And my heart goes out to them. Not only did they work and not get paid, but that was 2 weeks right there. Then they have the time they have to get a job, and then they're going to work again with no pay until that paycheck comes in. Be careful, check. And if the money seems way higher than normal, that's a red flag, okay? Don't look for things to be too easy, okay? Check those out. Check the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. Have they heard of this company? Does it have a rating that's going to rate them A plus through F? Have there been complaints on this company? Okay, there's a thing that, if there is a problem, you may want to check at these things out. Don't get ripped off, okay? Now, how many people search the internet incognito? Anybody do incognito mode so that they can't be tracked? Here's a hint. It doesn't work. You can still be tracked. Trust me, I go on the dark web all the time. We know exactly where you are, what you're doing at all times. Incognito mode is a joke. All right? Just so you know, it's not hiding anything. Okay, the only one that hides the best are Macs. So if you're on a PC, yeah, you're wide open. But you can do things. You can hide behind a firewall. You can hide behind a private servers, things like that. Those are better. But everybody has an IP address, and that IP address identifies you, okay? And when you're connected to the internet. And that tells us also your approximate location. But when you're hiding behind one of these private VPNs, etc., that location can be somewhere else. And so we lose that. Okay. So be careful when you're out there. You may not be as private as you think. And that information leaves that digital footprint that we talked about earlier. So yes, that information can be tracked back to you. Now, when you're out on the internet, look for websites that have this HTTPS. If it says just HTTP, it's not a secure web page, okay? So if it does say HTTPS, it could be less secure, but at least you stand a better chance. And most people, they never check these things. Now, things like Chrome will give you a warning that says you're moving into an insecure website, and it'll try to stop you. Okay, so that's a good thing. Okay, now, fake hotspots. A lot of people will go to locations that have Wi-Fi and they'll see the Wi-Fi name up there and they type in the Wi-Fi hotspot or they select it, but they select the wrong one. They select one with a very similar name. Be careful. Read carefully because you may be at Starbucks or you may be at McDonald's or Denny's, wherever, and people will pull up in a van, in an SUV, whatever, and they set up a mobile hotspot that has a name very similar to the real one. And they put it so that it shows up before the real one. You click on that and you put in the same password. The only thing is you're connected to their hotspot, not the real one. And now you're doing your business and they're capturing your logins and your passwords. So be careful for these fake Wi-Fi hotspots. Always check with the employees or make sure you have the spelling correctly before you put in things that might be wanted by somebody else. Okay, right there. Make sure it is legitimate and be careful, especially when you're doing payments. Now, cookies. We all hear about cookies. And that's the little pieces of information that let you know you've been to a website. That's why you'll see things marked on there. And people want to steal those. We call them cookie monsters. Okay. And the reason why they want to steal those is sometimes it contains your passwords so that when you go back to that website, you don't have to put in that password. It's nice and convenient. That's why they want to take those cookies because it has information about you. It may have your mother's maiden name, things like that. Remember, when it tells you to choose a question and choose an answer where it says, what's your mother's maiden name? Put down your favorite car. Put down something that you know the answer to, but don't necessarily put down your mom's maiden name because now you're giving them information that is easy to hack. Now, these are names or definitions that we hear. Phishing, okay? So this is emails and copies of valid websites, okay? It's going to look real. It's going to be a copy of it. It's going to look real. But you'll have to look at the address at the top. And it's going to, when you click on these things, it's going to take you to this fake website that looks real. And you're going to put in your private information, your passwords, this, that, and all it's going to do is capture it. Congratulations, you've given them all the information to steal your identity. If you get something from your credit card company that says you need to update the information, click here. No, go to the internet, go to the website directly. Your credit card companies will not send you an email telling you to click here to update. Don't do that. Okay, malware is software that's only intention is to damage or destroy. Okay, that's what it is. That's malware. That is not a virus. A virus can cause havoc, but it doesn't necessarily destroy it. And it's set to move from machine to machine. So as you pass data or send an email, it's going to go from machine to machine, like an illness. Now, adware. Sometimes you get this with free stuff. You get an app on your phone, it's free, but you got to put up with the ads. You pay for it, the ads go away. That's what adware is. Spyware, you may not even know you have it on your system, and it's going to just watch you and gather data and send it back to someone. Doesn't necessarily cause harm, but it's keeping track on what you buy, what you look at, what you think. There's a reason why Siri and Alexa and Google, if you say something, do something, now those are all the ads you're getting. It's spying on you. Okay. And you can't get it to stop because when you buy those devices, you agree to let it spy on you. You don't want it to spy on you, your device becomes inactive. It's a legal contract when you bought that device. Okay? Ransomware has been hitting police stations, government offices, schools, everything. It locks up your system. You won't pay the people the money, they will not unlock it. Some companies can unlock it for you, but either way, you're going to pay for it. So you need a plan. Antivirus software, mobile security. How many people have Android phones out there? You got an Android phone, you need antivirus software on that Android phone. Android phones are a lot easier to hack than iPhones. iPhones aren't as easy to hack, they're a pain in the butt. Android, it's just the nature of the software. Not picking on Androids, it's just the nature of that software. Okay, so make sure you have antivirus software running on it. Keep those passwords secure. They're a pain in the butt, but make them secure. Multi-factor authentication, we use that here at Southern Tech. You go to sign in, you get a number back, you have to put it in. Those are a pain too. It helps keep things secure. Okay? Back things up. Make sure you're doing your backups. Again, it takes work to keep things going. It says to make a checklist. I guarantee you, I do not sit down and make a checklist like this. You just get used to things, okay? But this list is in your book and it's got a lot of ideas on here, you know. Keep your cookies deleted, keep your firewalls turned on, keep your wireless routers with a password, okay? Change it. You might find out your neighbors are using your internet, things like that. So keep track of that stuff. Password strength, we know you need 47 letters, uppercase, lowercase. You need to jump up and down, spin twice to log in, and then it'll tell you it's incorrect 4 times, ask you to create a new one, and then it'll tell you you can't use that same one again. We all know this routine too well. Okay, everybody good? Everybody got that? Try to keep yourself safe. Also, watch for those skimmers on the gas stations when you're out there driving around to these interviews. Keep those things safe. Watch when you pull stuff out. Be careful of posting things like, I'm going to be gone from this time to this time. I'm going here. I'm going there. People are out there watching. Okay. Keep yourself safe during that job search process. Okay. So today's question, have you ever been hacked or had your identity stolen? If so, how did you fix it? Because remember, this is tied to your reputation. Somebody can trash your reputation if they steal your identity. And if you didn't have it stolen, what are you doing to keep your identity safe? Name 3 things that you do to help keep your identity safe. Okay? So if you've had it hacked or had your identity stolen, how did you fix it? Otherwise, what are you doing to keep it safe? Okay. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You may have covered this on Monday. I apologize if you did and I forgot. Is there a final review for when we take the final test?
Yes, right here. Right there. Final exam study guide. I am going to replace it because right here it has this across it, and one person's already taken the final exam, and they said they were having difficulty reading because of this dark one going across there. So I'm going to post it without the words going across it. So this one is in place right now, and that is off the main screen there. Whoops, can you see that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't know if it was still sharing. Yeah, it does say it's sharing. So it's right off of there. So I'll replace that right after this call because I have one without that on there. I went through and erased every one of those. It took me a bit, but I got those all off there. And so I'll post that one so y'all can see it without those words in front. Okay? Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
And you do not have to wait until the last day to do that final exam. It is open. And again, your final exam, it's going to have a lower grade. Only a couple people did the 5-point bonus last week. So they're the only ones that are going to get that 5-point boost with that photo. So unfortunately, only a couple people are going to get that, which is a shame. That's a half a letter grade up. So, but so far, you know, like I said, one person, actually two people have done, and they both did extremely well. One did it with the bonus, one person did it without. Both did extremely well. So I anticipate you'll do very well on it. All right. So get caught up on those. Like I said, I'll be dropping the zeros in so you'll see where they are. I'll be trying to keep updating those grades as we get closer to the end of the class because I want everybody to know exactly where they stand. If you have questions, email me, text me, and let's do this. We're in the home stretch, and we'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock.